Hey everyone, welcome back to Learn English with us. Today's story is a little different. It's not a grammar class. It's not just a list of vocabulary. It's a story about life, dreams, and choices. It's about a man who changed the world, not only with computers, but with ideas. His name is Steve Jobs, the co-founder of Apple. In 2005, he gave a legendary speech to the students of Stanford University. That speech became one of the most watched motivational talks in the world.
I think I've heard about it. Isn't that the one where he says, "Stay hungry, stay foolish"?
Exactly. But many people know that quote and forget the rest of the message. Today, we'll go deeper. We'll discover what he really meant. Learn English along the way, and maybe find some inspiration for our own lives. So sit back, relax, and listen carefully. This is a simple story with Steve. The 3 life lessons from Steve Jobs. Part 1: Connecting the Dots. Steve Jobs began his speech with humility. He said, "Today, I want to tell you 3 stories from my life." That's it. No big deal. Just 3 stories. He didn't start with numbers or business advice or technical jargon. He started with life. His first story was called Connecting the Dots. When Jobs was 17, he entered college. But after only 6 months, he dropped out. He said his parents had saved all their money for his education, but he didn't see the point of spending it when he didn't know what he wanted to do.
That sounds risky.
It was. But he said it was one of the best decisions of his life, because dropping out allowed him to drop in on classes that truly interested him. He started attending lessons that had nothing to do with computers, like calligraphy, the art of beautiful handwriting. He learned about spacing, elegant letters, balance, and design. At the time, it seemed completely useless.
Yeah, who would think handwriting would help in technology?
Exactly. 10 years later, when he was creating the first Macintosh computer, he remembered those classes. He designed the Mac with beautiful fonts, proportional spacing, and artistic balance. He said, "If I had never dropped in on that calligraphy class, the Mac would never have had multiple typefaces or proportionally spaced fonts." That small decision, to follow curiosity, changed the way we see text on every computer today. And his message was simple but powerful. You can't connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect them looking backward.
So we just have to trust that things will make sense one day.
Exactly. When you follow your curiosity, when you trust your heart instead of fear, the dots will connect someday. But only when you look back. That's the first life lesson. trust your journey, even when it doesn't make sense yet.
That's so true. Sometimes what feels useless now can become a gift later.
Yes, sometimes a random class, a small book, or a person you meet unexpectedly can change the direction of your entire life. Part 2: Love and Loss. Now, the second story, maybe the hardest one, is about love and loss. Jobs said, "I was lucky. I found what I loved to do early in life." When he was 20, he started Apple with his friend Steve Wozniak in a small garage in California. For 10 years, Apple grew fast. From a dream in a garage to a $2 billion company with over 4,000 employees. But then, something happened that nobody expected. He was fired from his own company.
Fired from Apple?
Yes. He said, "How can you get fired from a company you started?" It was painful, humiliating, and confusing. He was 30 years old, young, rich, and suddenly jobless. For months, he didn't know what to do. He met with friends, walked alone, and felt like a failure. But then something clicked. He realized that even though he had lost his company, he hadn't lost his passion. He still loved creating. He still loved technology. So he started again. This time with nothing but experience and energy. He created Next, a new computer company, and Pixar, a studio for digital animation. Pixar made Toy Story, the first full 3D animated film, and it changed cinema forever. Years later, Apple bought NeXT, and just like that, the dots connected again. Steve Jobs returned to Apple, bringing with him the innovation that gave birth to the iMac, iPod, iPhone, and iPad.
That's incredible. So being fired wasn't the end, it was a new beginning.
Exactly. He said, "I didn't see it then, but it turned out that getting fired from Apple was the best thing that could have ever happened to me." That's the second lesson. Sometimes life hits you in the head with a brick. Don't lose faith. Failure doesn't mean you're done. It means you're being redirected.
It reminds me of something my father used to say: when one door closes, another opens.
That's a beautiful way to say it. And it's true. When we lose something, a job, a project, or even a relationship, it can feel like the end of everything. But often it's a test to see if we truly love what we do. Jobs said, "I'm convinced that the only thing that kept me going was that I loved what I did." So if you find something you love, hold on to it, even when it's hard. even when you fail, because that passion will guide you back. Part 3. Death. The third story is about death and about life itself. When he was 17, Jobs read a quote that stayed with him forever. If you live each day as if it was your last, someday you'll most certainly be right. He said that for 33 years, every morning, he looked in the mirror and asked himself, if today were the last day of my life, would I want to do what I'm about to do today? If the answer was no, too many days in a row, he knew he had to change something.
That's powerful. It really makes you think about your priorities.
Yes. In 2004, he was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. Doctors told him he might only have a few months to live. He said that hearing that was like being hit by a truck. He prepared to say goodbye to his family, to leave Apple again, to face the unknown. But after surgery, the doctors discovered it was a rare form of cancer that could be treated. He survived, but his vision of life changed forever. He said, "Remembering that I'll be dead soon is the most important tool I've ever encountered to help me make big choices in life." Death, he explained, reminds us that we're already naked. We have nothing to lose. So why not follow your heart?
That's deep. It's like death gives meaning to life.
Exactly. He said, "Your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life. Don't let fear or people's opinions or society's expectations make you live a life that isn't truly yours." That's his third and final lesson. Life is short. Make it yours.
It makes me want to stop waiting and start living right now.
That's the point. We don't need to wait for a perfect moment. We just need to begin today. Part 4. Stay hungry. Stay foolish. At the end of his speech, Jobs told one last story about a magazine he loved when he was young, called the Whole Earth Catalog. On the back cover of its final issue, there was a picture of a country road, and under it, a message that said, "Stay hungry, stay foolish." Jobs said that those words captured exactly how he wanted to live. To stay hungry, meaning stay curious. Keep learning, keep dreaming. Never be satisfied with what you already know. And to stay foolish, meaning don't be afraid to take risks. Don't be afraid to look silly when you try something new. That's how creativity grows.
So, stay hungry, stay foolish means keep growing, keep trying, even if you fail.
Exactly. Don't stop exploring even when people doubt you. Remember, the ones who think differently are often the ones who change the world. Part 5. Vocabulary Review and Practice. Let's take a short vocabulary break. Here are 10 expressions you can learn from this story. Drop out. To leave school or university before finishing. Calligraphy. The art of beautiful handwriting. Connect the dots. Understand how past events relate. He was fired. He lost his job. Rediscover your purpose. Find your motivation again. Stay hungry, stay foolish. Keep learning and taking risks. Follow your curiosity. Explore what interests you. The dots will connect. Things will make sense later. Don't waste it living someone else's life. Be true to yourself. Take risks. Try new things even if you might fail.
Can we try using some of them in sentences?
Sure. Repeat after me. I dropped out of something that didn't make me happy. I'm learning to connect the dots between my past and my future. Even when I fail, I stay hungry and stay foolish. Your time is limited, so make it count. Part 6. Reflection and Motivation. So what can we really learn from Steve Jobs? First, follow curiosity, even when others don't understand. Second, turn failure into growth. It's never the end. Third, live with awareness. Time is short, so make it count.
It's amazing how simple his stories are, yet so deep.
Yes, that's the magic of it. Simple stories, big meaning. He wasn't just talking about success. He was talking about living authentically. Every one of us has dots, moments that don't make sense right now. But one day, when we look back, we'll understand how they connect. So don't be afraid to take that class, to start that project, to follow that idea even if others don't believe in it yet. Because that's how your own story begins.
Thank you, Steve. I feel like I've learned more than English today.
That's the goal. Language is not just words. It's how we understand life. And learning English through stories helps us grow, inside and out. So, wherever you are, stay curious, stay brave, and remember, stay hungry, stay foolish.
And keep learning English with us.
Exactly. See you in the next episode.